Hello everyone, I'm Havoc and this is Satisfactory Update 4. We are back at it today. I have made a few changes to our factory, our little wee baby factory over here. I've added some extra storage on top, and then over here I have a whole lot of these biomass burners chained together up above where I am processing the leaves and wood right down here. And so this processes it. I think it's doing nothing right now because it's all moved up there, which is fine. I've got a load of it sitting up there. But it goes, I was storing it down there, then I built this up here, so I just moved it to this storage. And then each one of these have solid biofuel in them. Now, the biomass burner is the only power generator in Update 4 that only runs for as much power as it needs. The rest of them will run wide open and burn at maximum capacity, but this one does not. So having this many all lined up is actually a big advantage, in that it makes these burn much slower. And so what's going to happen is I'll only have to come up here and fill these up every so often instead of every 10-15 minutes. I may be able to go an hour and a half or two. I haven't done the math on it just yet, but it should last quite a long while, which gives me the time that I need to focus on getting more production going on. So over here we have a whole nother iron ore deposit right here, which means I could double everything that I have running right now very easily out of one additional miner, and then all of the buildings that we have going over here. And that would be great, because right now we're making 40 plates per minute, let's see, and then 30 rods per minute. I think we were making the 120 screws per minute. So that's all good and well, but we're going to want to unlock the ability to make things with more than one item, and that's going to be the, well, hello birdie, see you later. That's going to be the assembler. So if we look right up here, right here, the assembler, I have everything needed to just go ahead and knock this right out and send it up there.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
Gotcha. But so this takes rotors, and I don't have any rotors whatsoever. So we're going to need to make some of those by hand, but this will allow us to make our, what is this called, reinforced iron plate by machine. Now the rotors, which we just unlocked, take screws and rods as well. So we may not be making enough screws and rods out of what we have over there. We'll see in just a minute. But I'm going to need to make, it was what, 4 per, I need at least one machine for each, so 8 of those will work just fine. And then we're going to need some more of our reinforced plate. Now it takes screws and the iron plate to make the reinforced plate. So we can make, well, I don't know how many screws it's going to take to put the machine down. Hello, lizard doggo. Let's get some foundations in place. Encroaching on another's clearance. Oh, the bird. I was about to say, I don't have a machine there. Run away, birdie. I have some building to do. You too, lizard doggo. Clear the area. Yes. You want to run. You can feed them and then you can pet them and they won't run. But I needed it to move. So I made it run. Alright, let's drop one of these down somewhere. Right along in here should be fine. I want to get this reinforced iron plate. Now this will take 30 iron plates per minute and 60 screws. So I have double that in screws, and that's only 3/4 of the production of plates that I have. Now the other question is going to be, if I want to make rotors, 100 screws per minute. Okay, so I need 160 screws per minute, and I only produce 120, which means I have to add an additional constructor for screws, and I will need to change one of these rods to produce for that. Alright, so if I'm making 30 rods right now, I only need 20 per minute here, which means I can send an additional 10 rods per minute towards our screw production, and it's exactly 10 rods per minute to make the additional 40 screws we have. So our ratios here are just a little bit off. So what I would need to do is change this around just a little bit. Now, I think we want to leave our plate as is, so I have extra iron plate left over. And honestly, I'm going to need extra rods and stuff, so now it's probably a good time to see about adding in that extra miner and building the second layer, because really this is only going to give me 5 per minute, so I'm going to want to do more than 5 per minute. We can look at how to do everything I need for this from what we're going to get out of the iron ore. So we're getting 120 per minute. So I'll need 3 constructors making the iron plate. So I'll need 3 for the iron plate. That'll give me 60. That's enough to do 2 of these. So I'll be able to run 2 of these. And then I'll need, I can actually do more than that. If we want to run 3 of these, I'll need 90 per minute, which is going to be an odd number. But essentially what I'm thinking here is I want to eliminate the rods altogether. I can turn all of my rods into screws in that setup and then make the reinforced iron plates. So let's see about getting that. But I'm going to build an area above this so that I can have some space to work in and then try and math out what I want to do. Okay, so now we have the second layer built up here. This tower below us is the tower overlooking the first layer, and then this is the second layer. We are bringing in 120 iron ore per minute, bringing it up to the second level, and then we are smelting all 120 iron ore into 120 iron ingots. Now, 3 of those lines, so 30, 60, 90 of those lines are 2/3 into the 20, 40, 60 iron plate. Had to think for a second. And we needed 30 iron plate per minute to run 1. So 2 is run by the 60 iron plate we're making here from those 3 smelters. Now the last smelter produces 30 iron ingots. Those 30 iron ingots are split. 15 go into one constructor and 15 into the other. Each of them take 15 iron ingots and make 15 rods. Now we'll go over there and take a look so I can show you how wonderful it's done over here. and we can look at each of these. So you'll see 20 per minute, 20, 40, 60 of the iron plate per minute. And then over here, we are getting our 15 and 15, which is 30 iron rods per minute. They come out, are joined in this merger, go around, and then split into 3 different constructors making screws. Each one making 40 screws per minute. So we have 40, 80, 120. Those screws are combined. Did I miss a belt? No. How interesting. So we should be using 120 screws per minute. Hold on a second. There we go. That was the problem, because this is 80 and I had a belt that's only handling 60. It's okay, we figured it out. But that's 40, 80, they both combine with another 40 to be 120. That 120 comes up here, is split. Half of it goes down here for 60 going there, and then the other 60 go down to the other machine. And that gives us our 30 and 60 for this machine, and 30 and 60 for the other machine, which then in turn gives us each of these machines running 10 of the iron reinforced iron plate per minute out, and then I just need to store that. What I'm thinking about doing is taking it down, so doing like so, just kind of dropping down and putting a storage down here somewhere. I think I'll just put it right at the end of this to begin with. No reason to have it really anywhere else. I can't tell if that's matching up or not. Yes, it is. Okay. There. Now, I did have one machine running down here while I was building all of that, so I would have a surplus, which is why I have 86 of the reinforced iron plates now. But I also get 10 per minute from now on, as long as I supply it with power, which is perfect. Now I need to look at the rotors. So down here, we may need to change how things are being done a little bit. In fact, I know we need to change how things are done, because down here, this is producing a little bit of everything, really, at this point. And I still need it to produce a little bit of everything, but what I think I'm going to do is just have one machine producing the iron plates down here, and then task the rest towards making the rotors. Even then, I'm still going to need rods and screws by themselves, so I need to make more of those than anything else. So we are going to stop the flow of resources in down here and kind of let this start to bleed dry like that. And maybe I can dump these in here real fast. All but 2, that's fine. I have to find one that can accept these. It'll be the one on the end. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so we've got to do some math here to figure out, for the rotors, what do we need? We need 20 rods per minute and 100 screws. So the 100 screws is really going to be the hard part for us. The 100 screws itself isn't bad, but I don't want to run just one of these. I want at least 2, so I get 8 rotors per minute. That just sounds like not an awful lot. But what we're going to do here, so 200 screws works out to be pretty evenly distributed, because each machine makes 40 per minute. So 200 gives us 5 machines. 5 machines making the 200 screws is going to be 50 rods per minute just to the screws. 50 rods per minute does not work out well mathematically because they make 15 rods per minute. Right? So you got 15, 30, 45, and then you go up to 60, so you'll have 10 extra rods that are not being used to make the exact number of screws. But I do need to make extra screws and have overflow going into a bin that I can just run by and grab. So what is that going to be if I just say 200 screws? Let's make 240, so that'll be 6 screw machines. That'll be 60 rods, which is exactly the... It breaks down into 4 constructors worth making rods. That's a better breakdown for us. So these will take 10 rods. I'm going to make 240, which is 6. That's 60 rods. The 60 rods will take 60 iron ingots. So that's two smelters worth of iron ingots, right? So 30, 60 will be doing nothing but making iron to make rods to make screws, which will give us 240 screws. That leaves us with 2 other ones, which means I'll be able to keep one dedicated to making plate and one dedicated to making extra rods. Now, if I have one making rods, that's 30 iron ingots. That means 30 rods per minute. Now, is 30 rods per minute enough to run 2 of these machines? It may not be. No, it is not. So, what that means is that realistically, if I wanted to do 2 rotor machines, I wouldn't be able to keep one plate machine down here. Or I wouldn't get any extra screws. And I have to continue expanding the base. So I think what I'm just going to do here is maybe only make one rotor per minute, or 4 rotors per minute, one machine running, just for now, because I do need to get rotors automated sooner rather than later so they can start stockpiling. Let's make sure that I can do that relatively easily. Let's see. I am making 30 rods per minute, which is more than enough, and I'm making 120 screws, which is more than enough. So yes, I can leave everything how it is and just take rods and screws, which I believe is this one. Yep, and that one's obviously screws. So all I've got to do is turn this thing around, set it, say, right there, and then we're going to take rods from here in some manner. It's going to go all over the place. Maybe that's not the best place to put the assembler. Can I sneak it out this way? No, not likely. It's going to be a bit of a mess. But you know what? I think I might just do away with the storage on top. Instead of doubling up storage, we will simply keep it down here. And that allows me to take out from right here. And I'll do the same here with this. For these screws. Nope, we want to keep a little bit on us and then put the rest away. Now I can just take from right here, come out. It'll look much nicer this way. that a 90? It is. Good. And a 90. There we go. Rods and screws going in. Just need to tell you to make rotors. What do we got here? So this is the reinforced plate. We'll drop another one this way, right beside it. And that will be our rotors. I just need to power this. And there we go. Oh, hey lizard doggo. So that gets us reinforced plate being automated and rotors being automated. We need to take a look at what next we can unlock. I forgot completely about our little pod here. The resource sink would be a really good thing to unlock. That'll allow us to start accruing points and get some really nice things. So I'm just going to leave this one doubled up. The reason those don't need to be doubled up is we're going to be using the vast majority of what I'm producing. There's going to be a slight bit of excess that built up over time. Luckily, I had a surplus from building other things, and we can maintain that. But yeah, the resource sink is really great. It allows us to grind up items to get points for coupons, and the coupons allow us to unlock some really nice buildings for our factory, some extra components. Let's send that off.
Milestone reached. You have been given early access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on exoplanets bonus program. Following parts into the awesome resource sink, depending on their amount and complexity, will grant you coupons in the awesome store, which can be exchanged for bonus rewards.
Yeah, Ada,
Examples
I
of
already
bonus
said that.
content are parts, walls, factory attachments, and cosmetics. Fixit is working hard to develop additional options, which will be added to the awesome store in the future. Go that
Alrighty.
extra kilometer. Go awesome.
Now the only thing left are jump pads, which are really fun ways to get around your factory, especially vertically. But what I need to do is set down the MAM. We need to set down this structure and start doing a little bit of research on some things. Primarily, what I want to do is get an unknown metal here researched, and that means we're gonna have to find some stuff while out in the wild. What we can do real fast, there's quite a few things that can be done quickly to just knock out a few things. So like alien organisms, the alien carapace takes 3 seconds. Done.
New recipe unlocked.
New recipe. Wonderful.
New research available in the MAM.
So we're going to do flower petals. That's another 3-second one. That's going to unlock for us the color gun so that we can paint things. And let's see, we can do this one's a 3-second one. This is mycelia, which we found all over the place when we were using a chainsaw. And then you have the different nutrients, the berries, haven't found any of the nuts, and then the
New object added to the object scanner.
mushroom. Get a little bit of our health back real fast, because what we need to do now is a little bit of exploring. I'm going to put a few of those things away. We did some of the basic entry-level researches, and that's good. Something I would really like to get would be blade runners. They help you move around, jump higher, take less damage when you fall. For that, I need to find Caterium. So we're going to need to go on a hunt for some Caterium. And what I'm going to do before I leave is make a few more portable miners. So if I do find a node, I can drop several down and get a bunch real fast. A couple of beacons are not a bad idea either. Okay, so I think I'm just going to head in this direction. I don't really know this area of the map very well, but it looks promising. Hopefully I don't get eaten. Oh wow, yeah, there's a whole bunch of the bad guys right there. No, y'all mind your own business. No, no, no. Oh gosh. That doesn't sound good. And I don't think I can make it up this way. Oh boy! We are going to try and outrun them. Hey, a power slug. That's a bunch of poison plants. You see these guys right here? I was going to run straight for that slug and die. These guys, when you get close, stand up and then start producing poison. That stuff right there. Yeah, that's definitely not what I want anything to do with. So we're going to keep looking around here. Hey, sulfur.
Data shows this as a mix of sulfide and sulfate minerals. It could be an indication of recent volcanic activity. A new research tree exploring volatile self-defense applications can now be accessed in the MAM.
Volatile self-defense mechanisms. There's another poison plant. May not be able to go this way at all. I'm not sure. There's more bad guys. See, this is dangerous. I'm just looking along the edges. Caterium ore. Hey, right here is what I wanted.
New technologies can be developed based on this new, superconductive, gold-like element, primarily in power and electronics. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
A new research tree can be accessed. Okay, there are so many poison plants around here, but boy is it beautiful in this area. There's also a lot of bad guys. I say bad guys. There's a lot of animals, and the animals don't like us. Oh. Yeah, I know you're there. We are going to attempt to escape. Whoop. Might be a better idea to simply take you out. There we go. I was afraid eventually he was going to catch me. And it wasn't going to go well for me, so just turn around and fight him. See, if I take the Caterium back to the MAM, whoop, don't just fall off like that. Yeah. I think I have enough to do the research where I can scan for it. Let's see. Caterium. Yep, it only takes 10. Perfect.
New resource added to the resource scanner.
Now, I press V and say Caterium. This will tell me where an actual node is. Somewhere. Alright, so it is south. That is quite a dangerous direction to go in. Let's see if we can maybe make it that way. And berries. Yep. Got him. Of course, I'm half health now. Alright, so I'm just trying to find a way. Oh, there's a bunch of you guys. The lighting over here is weird. Where'd that other guy go? There's so many. Hey, and there's a green slug. Almost, buddy. Alright. We're going to eat before we die. And probably going to do the berries, or the nuts. I've got so many of them. Yeah, I don't know that the Caterium node in the southern direction is the way to go. Here's the limestone. But there's nothing but bad guys in this direction. So let's try that again. Caterium. Where'd it go? How would one even do that? Yeah, I think we're going to have to go in a different direction because there's poison plants everywhere. Later on we can get a mask to protect us, but we don't have it yet. Yeah, we're going to have to work our way in a different direction towards a different one. But, ooh, wait a minute. Can I walk on this and go get that green slug? I'm very careful not to fall off one side or the other. Could always build my way towards the green slug too, but this is more fun. Yeah, look at that. We made it.
This semi-slug seems to emit unfamiliar energy readings which could potentially be retrofitted into Fixit technology. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Just slide right off cliffs. Alright. Well, we're going to have to find a different direction to get to that. But that's probably going to be it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. And if you enjoy my content and you want to see it more often, consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you all next time.